Mental Training 101 on 105.5 The Roar. And now back to Get Warrior Tough with Andrew Wittman.
All right, working the magic in the saddle with the mighty Chris Adele. Ha! I stole you from Roy, Mickey, and Quack. I'm the one that's the man now. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, this is where it's happening right now.
We're all fighting over you, baby. How's it feel? You're a celebrity, dude. You're a rock star.
It's pretty great.
All right. Okay, so now we left off, right? So here's if you're a sales rep. Now I told you guys script. Remember, I told you to come up with your script, and you said it shouldn't be rehearsed, right?
Well, it should be rehearsed.
But it shouldn't sound rehearsed.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what you said. Okay. See, even you just told it to me, and I already messed it up. This happens in communication all the time, where I hear something completely different than what you said.
Right.
Or now, this happened to me and my boys. One weekend, they had their friends over. We had this huge screen downstairs. It's like 16 by 16. I mean, it's huge.
Mm-hmm.
And we use a projector. So when they put the Xbox on, when their friends come over, each of them, when they split the screen in four, it's still like 4 giant TVs. How cool is that?
That's awesome.
All right, it's very awesome. And so they go in the basement, the man cave. And my wife said she said, they're down there, they're playing Xbox. All the friends are over. For 9 hours. You got to do something about this. Okay, I'll go down. So I said, guys, I don't care who's over. You cannot play Xbox for 9 hours. And now I want to know that they heard what I said. So I said, now tell me back so I know what you understand. What did I say? And they said, you don't care who we have over. Now, I did say that, but that is not what I had meant.
Right.
So in communication, I have to be very careful to know that I'm not going to give what I call sand traps. If you heard any of the past shows, thinking like crap. It's not relevant. That was not relevant.
Right.
The relevant piece was I had to be real clear in my communication and only give relevant information. That was a sand trap. I don't care who you have over. The relevant point was you can't play Xbox for 9 hours. Do you see? Okay?
Yeah, no, I agree.
So this is why I need to think ahead and script out what I'm saying and take out anything that's not relevant in my conversation. When I'm on the phone, I need to at least lay out my thoughts so that I'm not adding anything that's not relevant, especially in the sales process.
Gotcha.
Okay, I don't want a sand trap. I don't want to, hey, look, a bunny rabbit. I don't need, let me say it like this. What my target is to close the sale and help the customer and also help me. It's a win-win. That's my target.
Mm-hmm.
A sand trap, what is it? Now, do you play golf?
I don't.
But you've seen it golf, right?
I have.
Does a sand trap help you or hurt you?
It hurts a little bit.
Yeah, it's not. No one wants to go there, right? No one's like, I want to hit it in the sand trap. Okay, so in our communication, we have to make sure that what we're saying is clear, and we take out any sand traps, anything that's not relevant, we don't put in the communication. Then the next thing is accuracy, thinking like crap. Accuracy, am I speaking in truths or facts? I want to speak in facts if I want to clearly communicate and not get stuck in a sand trap or inflame some. Remember I said push your buttons.
Mm-hmm.
This is how someone pushes your buttons. What they say is they tell you their truth, but they put it on you. Like, Chris, you are so disrespectful.
Thank you.
Is that a fact or a truth?
That's a truth.
That is a truth. A fact would be, Chris, remember when you said that my ideas were dumb?
Right.
I felt disrespected.
Okay, I see.
It's subtle but huge.
Right,
So now
yeah.
I'm not putting the onus on you, and I'm not. My truth is about me. It ain't about you. I couldn't.
You're not being accusatory.
Exactly. And then because if I told you calm down, you'd be like, I am calm.
Yeah.
Right. You disrespected me. I did not.
That's
right.
Yeah. No. That's. I feel that very strongly.
So when we're communicating, I don't want to push those buttons and have this thing blow up on me. What I want to do is put the onus back on me. Because I'm the CEO of me. I can't control you, but the only thing I can control is me. Right? But what I can do is not push your buttons and ramp you up. So when you are communicating, people say, I can't script stuff because you don't know what people are going to say back. Would you think that if you scripted out a conversation, you don't know what they're going to say back?
I mean, obviously you don't know exactly what they're going to say, but I'm sure you can formulate a way to kind of, get the gist and be prepared for their responses.
Bro, you're a communications major. They didn't teach you this?
I mean,
you're like, they might have. I don't know. Tell me what it is first. All right, I'll throw you a lifeline, brother. All right?
Appreciate it.
There's only 3 responses to anything that you could say. You could categorize, there's 3 things. There will be a negative response, a neutral response, or a positive response. Or I'll say it like this. What you say will cause conflict. You'll get either compliance, which is neutral, conflict is negative, compliance with what you said, yeah, okay, or commitment.
Okay.
That's the positive.
Right.
I would like, as a sales rep or a communicator, I want you to commit to what I'm saying. I would like for you to buy into what I'm saying. If I can't get that, I will take compliance. I'm really not a fan of having conflict, but if we have to have it, we're going to have it not because I pushed your buttons.
Right.
Which is why I'm going to script stuff out so that I speak in facts and not in truths. Or if I do speak in a truth, it's on me. I use an I message. It's me. I felt disrespected. Not you always disrespect me. Not you're always late. You're always late? Is that a fact or a truth?
That's the truth.
That's a truth. So a fact would be, hey, Chris, you were late on Friday. You were late on Thursday. You were late on Tuesday. When you're late, I feel disrespected.
It's subtle, but you're right. It's big.
Yeah, this is part about being a people whisperer. Now, think of that. If you, in every relationship that we have, if you can, and listen, I'm not a master at this by any stretch of the imagination, and my wife will tell you, right? But, so I work on it. My kids could tell you, too. I mean, I work on it. But at least we know what the process is, and that I'm working on it. I'm a journeyman. I'm working on it. I'm not a master, but I'm working on it. And then here's the question. What are we doing to work on that? And could it help you, and would it help you?
Mm-hmm.
How would it help you? If you communicated better, how would that help you? What area of your life would that help you in, Chris?
Honestly, pretty much everything.
So it would help you in your career if you could communicate better?
Absolutely. I mean, as a sales guy, this is everything. Yeah, everything you're saying is, that's helpful in the career. And then relationships. My girlfriend right now, we're long distance because she's back home in Alabama. Like a lot of the
Roll Tide.
Yeah, she's from Tuscaloosa actually. So definitely.
Good thing you went to Furman.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, like...
Okay, so let me, if you don't mind talking about that right now. So your long-distance relationship, all you guys have is the phone and texts.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're not very clear and you don't get... I mean, you could get in a sand trap in a heartbeat if you're not watching this stuff.
Absolutely. That's like when you said that, I was thinking, wow, that happens a lot, and it could be...
Anything.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
And then a whole big thing blows up over nothing.
Yep.
And it wasn't even relevant to the target.
Couldn't be truer.
So this could help you in your career. It could help you in your relationships.
Yeah.
What other area could it help you when you're talking to yourself?
Well, if you're talking to yourself, you might have bigger problems. I'm just messing.
I know. We all talk to ourselves, though.
But I guess so. I haven't really, thought of it that way. But
we call it in psychology your self-talk, your inner dialogue.
Right.
We have about 40 to 50,000 thoughts every day.
Wow.
80% of them, they say, are negative.
I can see that.
Just the way we phrase everything.
Right.
Okay. So, if you're talking to yourself in here 40 or 50,000 times, and 80% of that is negative, chances are what comes out of here to somebody else
is also going to be negative.
Right. And so now I'm pushing. So you could push your own buttons in here. If you're doing that in here, when it comes out of your mouth, it's like that's your natural thing. So we really have to go. And again, this is ground zero leadership. I can't. And I talk about this when I'm out training. We have a public life, we have a private life, and then we have a secret life. There's who you are publicly, there's who you are privately, and then there's who you are secretly. The goal is to get all three of those to match up and be congruent. So when I take care of this one, the secret life, and that pushes out the airspace to public and private, it's very easy. It's very easy. So public, private, and secret. When those line up, and I talk to myself, and I'll ask this question: can you do anything? Can you give anybody anything that you don't have? Could you give anybody anything you don't have? And I think the answer is no. We can't give anybody anything I don't have. Oh, go ahead, Chris.
We've got a caller on the line that wants to join in.
All right, we got a caller. Let's go to the caller. All right, hey, how you doing? Welcome to Get Warrior Tough.
Hi, Andrew. It's your wife.
Hey, sugar.
Hey.
Yo, you want
to
climb? Yeah, go ahead.
What?
You're going to tell on me? You can tell on me. It's all right. She's going to testify that I'm not a man. All right, go ahead.
So you're talking about all this deep stuff, and all that's awesome, but I just keep thinking about communication and how communication doesn't work if you don't communicate. And so many times people are guilty of assuming somebody knows how you feel, knows what you need, knows what you think, and you just don't tell them. So if we don't tell them, then we're not communicating. So we just have to sometimes just be open and tell people how we feel, what we think, what we need, and not assume that they know.
Right, and we've been doing this for like 27 years, and it hasn't always been like an easy ride, but we do tell each other those things. Sometimes, you know, a little harsher than others, but we'd always tell each other those things, right? I mean, would you agree with that?
Yes, absolutely.
Right, so
Yes.
we're not afraid to sometimes... do you think, and let me ask you this, babe, do you think that a lot of times we don't say those things because we're afraid of the conflict?
Yes, absolutely.
So then, what's the
And
workaround?
people do and don't do things all the time based on fear.
Well, yeah, yeah.
So,
That's true.
oftentimes, in fact, almost all the time, when you do step out of that fear block and talk to someone or share whatever it is you're feeling or your need, it ends up being better in the end than if you didn't.
Right, even if it's a little rough on the front end, if you work through it, it ends up being... Because, like, if you just let something go, does it get better or worse? If you just ignore something? I mean...
Worse.
Right, and the longer that you avoid having that conversation, right?
Right. Yes, it definitely gets worse. And the communication thing with the parent, when I need the children to do something or they have chores or whatever it may be, if I just assume to do it and they know, and because they're teenagers, instead of saying, these are the things that you need to do today, this is what I expect to be done by the end of the day, it always works better when you do that.
I'm laughing because the boys are rolling their eyes.
rolling their eyes.
Oh, I should get the camera on them. This is great. They're in the studio with me. They're running the camera and stuff. This is, yeah. But no, it is. The assumption thing is just huge. It's just huge. Now, Chris is saying that now you and I had a long distance relationship for a long time because I was in Okinawa. You were in Virginia, first in Hawaii, then in Virginia. So he's going with that with his girlfriend right now. What advice would you give him about having the communication over the long distance?
Well, make sure that you're communicating, but more importantly, make sure you don't go too long of a period without seeing each other. And you have to communicate about the important things and not just the trivial things and the everyday things that don't matter. Talk about your lives and what your day was like and what you did and that kind of thing.
Right, because you and I would be like, this was back in like the 80s, and I was in Okinawa, and my phone bill was like $800 a month.
Oh, wow.
I'd call her and I'd just be like, love you, baby. And she'd be like, love you, love you, love you. And I spent $800 just to hear her breathe on the other end of the line. But no, I agree with that you have to, and again, that 55% of the message, you have to make time to go see each other and definitely see each other's face, because the tone that you would hear on the phone or in the text or the email, babe, would you agree with this, that it goes away when you're in front of each other and you can see the whole package?
Oh, definitely, yes. And text messages can be very, very dangerous sometimes.
Right, because and I want to talk about that, because on a text or an email, that's only 7% of the message. Have you, like, when I text you sometimes, or email, we usually text, not email, or Facebook message, do you ever hear like a tone?
Absolutely.
And now who's bringing the tone? Is it you or me?
Well, it's me.
Right.
But I've been married to you so long that I can hear what tone you are going to have.
But that's an assumption too, right?
Correct, yes.
So we got to be, because I love you, baby. You know I love you, sugar.
Yeah, I love you.
All right.
But I sent a text to my mom just the other day saying, we need to talk about, I don't remember the exact words, but something to the effect of, we need to talk about the birthday party plan for the beach.
Right.
With an exclamation point.
Oh, how dare you yell at her?
And she took it back and said, well, is it going to be a problem? And I said, of course not. Why do you ask? And she said, well, just the way you sounded. I said, that's not how I sounded. It's the way you read it.
Right? No, and we're going to talk. We got to take a break. And will you hang on over the break, babe?
Okay.
Okay, and we'll be right back because I want to talk more about this email stuff. And Chris, we'll do a quick break, and then we'll be right back with my super smoking hot wife, Kimberly Dawn.
%80 of all doctor visits are stress-related. 80% of tension headaches are caused by stress. Most heart attacks occur around 9 a.m. on Monday. Stress is a major factor of anxiety, panic attacks, depression, and aggression, not to mention insomnia. And an estimated 24 million Americans use drugs to cope with stress. Depressing, isn't it? You're meant to live a happy, fulfilled life, and it is possible. Andrew Wittman can show you the way out. The way to deal with stress, to achieve, to break through limitations, and have an internal identity that calms the storm. Whether it's work or home, financial or emotional, get the tools you need to cope with the obstacles life brings you and still have peace. Mental training one-on-one will help you get what you want out of life. Visit GetWarriorTough.com to see testimonials from people just like you. Take control of stress. GetWarriorTough.com.